What's going on, fellow A-plusters? It's your boy Adam Perez back once again with a brand new video review as we're going to be getting into Gotham Knights, episode number 10 of the season. I can't believe we're actually in double digits now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that the finale for Gotham Knights, I believe, is like June 27th. So I'm assuming, if anything, maybe like 13 episodes in this season. You guys go ahead and certainly let me know in the comment section box below, but I believe it's 13 episodes this season. So we are continuing to go ahead and get closer to the finale here and see how season 1 wraps up. I have no idea, like, how are they going to top these? Again, we talked about this in the previous episode review. Oh shit moments in this season that leave you surprised that it happens, jaw dropping, like legit surprises. Like, I really do not see any of this stuff certainly coming. So it's a little bit ridiculous that yet again in this episode we have quite a few, if you ask me. I don't think it's too much. I think it's just a perfect amount to go ahead and be riveting, keep me attached, make me wonder what other twists and turns are certainly going to happen within this season. But you've had so many that it's to the point of like, what's the season finale going to do or top? You know what I mean? So I almost wonder if this season, just based off of the obscurity of like what the future holds, if by any chance the season finale might end up being pretty close-ended so that you finish off the story, characters, I don't want to say all have a happy ending or anything like that, but it leaves it open to the idea, like, if we don't come back for a season 2, at least maybe we've wrapped up this story, right? Like, I really hope that they didn't go into Gotham Knights thinking we're gonna have ourselves a second season. But so who knows? Maybe we don't get ourselves a big cliffhanger or anything like that. But I am expecting this season to continue to pick up with 3 episodes left, even though it feels like this season just is blowing by. The pacing, I think, of this show has been pretty good, if you ask me, for a CW show. But guys, as always, bringing you guys our Gotham Knights reviews. So let me go ahead and just give you guys my overall thoughts about it. Another solid entry, if you ask me. It felt very much intense, to certainly say the least, at least to start off, based off of Turner getting radioactive poisoning from just everything that happened to him with using the Electrum and things like that in the previous night with the Court of Owls. Pretty intense. Everybody is certainly on edge, trying to do their part in rescuing Turner, not trying to step on anybody's toes, sort of thing. So there definitely was a lot of intensity for the characters in this episode, really asking them to draw just a lot of emotions, and we see them having to deal with a lot with the near death experience here for Turner Hayes. So I really appreciated just the pacing of this episode. On side of that, also I also titled this particular episode "Big Dent Energy," because I thought we had some really great Misha Collins moments in here, as getting the opportunity to see Harvey Dent literally speak to his opposite self in here with some trippy shit. We learned a lot, but it was just cinematically, it was just really good television, and it had me glued to my seat watching it in anticipation and kind of see what was going to be revealed next. So I'm really glad that they really dove into the concept of Harvey Dent's opposite, and with 3 episodes left, with him now sort of feeling like the world is lifted off his shoulders after his incident in his mind. It should be interesting to see how his opposite comes back into play. Maybe it's the Court of Owls that awaken him once again. Who certainly knows? But some really good stuff here. But I will say this: despite me loving a lot of the oh shit moments in here, I gotta tell you, one moment in here just I don't know how I feel about it. And maybe you guys can kind of talk me through it. Give me your certainly your opinions on it. The death of Brody. Um First off, when Stephanie tells Brody the truth and he starts talking, I'm just like, oh no, like, you've literally told the wrong person. Like, this is the dude that's not gonna listen to you. He's gonna tell everybody everybody's business. He's gonna just draw trouble to himself. So I immediately already had sort of like Man, there's going to be at least a confrontation with Brody, right? Like at least the Court of Owls, his father might have a confrontation with him. I didn't expect him to kill the kid. That was crazy to me. I certainly did not see the death of Brody certainly happening. But the other oh shit moment was I didn't expect it to be the mom of all people in here. To me, look, a great oh shit moment, but the way that it was personally handled in this episode, I don't know if I was a really big fan of the swerve on this one. I don't. Because to me, I feel like they've literally and again, there's 3 episodes left, right? So this is possibly me judging this series a little bit too early here in regards to their use of Lincoln March. But they've done such a great job of building up Lincoln March, or Marsh, I can't remember his last name, Lincoln, to being this diabolical, secretive bad guy, gets away with anything, right? Harvey Dent sleeping with his wife, sort of thing, right? Like that just puts extra malice and reasoning behind him getting revenge. He's a smooth, suave mother. You know what I'm saying? Like Lincoln was growing on me in regards to the idea of him being a villain. And then we come to find out that he's Court of Owls, right? Like you just put him on this pedestal for us to make him a believable villain, only to castrate this man in this episode and allow all of a sudden, randomly out of nowhere, like the wife is like the mastermind. She seems like she's the one kind of giving the orders. Maybe he's like just playing up the part, but at the end of the day, he truly answers to her. I, like, what? Like, I was perfectly fine with everybody's role where they certainly were in here. I don't want to say sometimes maybe too many oh shit moments lead to oh man, maybe we fucked up the trajectory of a character. Because I don't know where Lincoln is certainly headed, right? He's got 3 more episodes left. We did see the revival of Brody at the end, another oh shit moment in this episode that I did not expect. I'm thinking to myself, like, is he going to be the new Talon? Does Lincoln feel some type of way because this is his boy, like his heir? You know what I'm saying? You can't just kill my own son, sort of thing, right? He did feel like he did look like he felt some type of way about the idea that she murdered their son without maybe even telling him. It feels like, or but even then, it feels like even if he did say something, she probably wouldn't give a shit. And so for me, the idea of her playing up sort of like this lowly wife and sleeping around with Harvey Dent and being fearful sort of thing. Like, I get that you got to put on, your mask. Lincoln March has a mask, but even Lincoln March's mask is asshole written all over it, right? So you kind of already know that he's going to be the main bad guy or villain when it really fleshes itself out. But the additional swerve of the wife to be it's just like boys are idiots or something like that, don't leave a man to do a woman's job. I'm like, really? Like, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here all of a sudden? Like, Lincoln March, I personally just thought creatively as a character was on a really great trajectory. And they literally just chopped this man's knees from below him. And now it almost feels like now I got to believe that she's the one sort of in charge. We'll see how it plays out, right? Like, we'll see how it plays out. It could really lead to some great sort of inner conflict between the family and Lincoln and his wife just smashing heads sort of thing. And then to see how Harvey Dent winds up getting involved, right? Maybe he comes in to try and save him. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy between these three. But I just don't think that they did Lincoln any favors in this episode. And I think as a character, for me, that's what I think bothers me. So we'll see. But other than that, it was overall a really great oh shit moment. And in this episode, finally, look, I complained about what did I complain about last week? About the idea of too many love situations. Like, can we clear some of this stuff up? Can we try and figure some stuff out? And that's exactly what we're wind up doing in here, right? The idea that we're finally getting some clarity on who wants to hook up with who. The failed attempt by Turner with Stephanie. She clearly eliminates two dudes in this conversation, which was great. Doesn't have a spark with Brody, doesn't have a spark with Turner, unfortunately. And she was kind of thinking maybe they would, and she was kind of surprised that they wouldn't. So that's out of the deal. We got ourselves a steamy little session between Dula and Turner. He's being a little slut in this episode, but he winds up getting Dula at the end of the day. It's those Wayne boys, you know what I'm saying? Like they just can't stay away from the temptation that is the crazy woman. But look, I absolutely love the character Dula in here. I think the actress that's playing her is really amazing. Somebody referred to her as like the God, the villain from Batwoman. Why is it on the tip of my tongue? It's gonna come to me here in just a little bit. But they're kind of making comparisons there between those two, and I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. I really enjoy her energy. But that wind up getting cleared up. So to me, while Stephanie eliminates the two guys, to me personally, this just means that now Stephanie and Harper are going to be the ones kind of hooking up, right? Like maybe everybody just assumes that Stephanie is straight and nobody really knows what her sexual orientation is. And maybe she's just pretty open to the idea. Or at least maybe now she will be, right? I mean, I think the idea that she says she discovered that there wasn't a spark between Brody and Turner, I do wonder if it's going to certainly start making her kind of wonder, well, why do I feel this kind of way about Harper or something like that, right? And look, maybe she was kind of standoffish and felt some type of way about Harper, how Harper was pushing her away. So maybe it winds up building up to something else. We'll have to find out and see. But I'm glad for the most part we've eliminated some of this stuff and the hormones were unleashed, but it answered some questions. So overall, enjoyable episode here once again, man, here for this particular week. The Harvey Dent stuff was incredible. And in fact, let's really go ahead and do a deep dive into the Harvey Dent stuff. First off, the idea of having to kill yourself, that's got to be pretty tough for anybody. It doesn't matter what the guy told you. The fact that you're literally almost like looking at yourself in the mirror and you see Misha Collins as Harvey Dent, like literally choking himself out for a character, I got to wonder what that intensity was certainly like for him. If anything, one, I thought they did a really great job when it comes to just the effects of having them sort of in the same room. However, they wind up doing that with TV magic sort of thing. I thought that was pretty neat. But Misha Collins really separates himself with the two different personalities of Harvey Dent. And I do appreciate the idea that this episode does sort of clarify a couple things in regards to how this certainly all happened. The fact that this personality has kind of always been with Harvey Dent ever since he was a kid. I believe his opposite says ever since he had like sort of, I don't want to say imaginary friend, but it was like a voice or somebody he would speak to sort of in his mind when he would fall into like those deep sleeps. And I think they had a meeting place called like Meet in the Middle or something along those lines, where both his personalities would meet and talk with each other. So they've been doing this apparently since kids, but the only time he ever comes out is when he is certainly in a deep sleep. Apparently the Court of Owls wind up sort of finding out about the Harvey Dent situation and figured out how to go ahead and bring the opposite out. So they are using him, but maybe not so much in the actual deaths of people, but literally just to sort of frame him, to kind of give Harvey Dent these lapses in time so that Harvey believes that he might in fact be the killer. And that's what he wind up believing, right? I mean, homeboy literally was taking out his video camera and recording himself sort of thing. So the opposite at least confirms that for us. And one other thing, unfortunately, that he also confirms for Harvey Dent is that he's the one that actually killed their father. Talking about the idea that Harvey Dent's hands, really aren't that clean. They're kind of dirty already, as the opposite himself at one point wind up killing their dad. And so, yeah, that's pretty riveting stuff if you ask me. I really enjoy just the psychological aspect of what that all means for Harvey, for Harvey Dent. I never really got too deep into sort of like the origin story of Two-Face. I don't recall if I thought it was like a chemical exposure or something like that turned him crazy, or maybe he had a mental breakdown, I think is probably what I assumed. I didn't know the struggle of a split personality almost, or a personality disorder, if you will. But let me know how ingrained in the Two-Face sort of origin story that is. Is that something that's current as far as like New 52 or even the, Dawn of DC stuff? I definitely would like to know really what Two-Face's origin stories, to see how they're linking up here with Gotham Knights. But I find it all very much intriguing, to certainly say the least. So we'll see what happens here. But the one thing that I really appreciated in this, though, is the idea of like the opposite truly wanting to live Harvey's life, right? The idea that, look, your way of justice will only sort of take you so far. And at that point, you're just going to get to the breaking point because you can't achieve anything, that you're just going to need me, all right? You're going to need my type of justice. And that's just not the type of justice that Harvey Dent is really looking to kind of stand for. And so when he's like, look, I don't want to just drive the car. I want the keys. I mean, I want control of your body. And so for me, when they were fighting, I was just thinking to myself, oh my goodness, like, is this where the opposite certainly comes out, right? Or when the EMTs were in there and getting ready to, shock him or help him, bring him back to life, sort of thing. I'm thinking to myself, are they going to bring back the wrong one? But Harvey Dent seemingly took care of that himself. But look, for how long, right? For how long? But I thought it was really great, just storytelling here for Harvey Dent. I also titled this episode 17 Pills, because that's how ballsy or crazy and stupid Harvey Dent certainly was in even deciding to go ahead and try and take that opportunity. We also did get ourselves a great, and this is a side honorable mention here for Carrie Kelly. I really enjoyed just her story in general in regards to her and her mom's relationship. Look, I busted on her mom in the sense of like, that sounded terrible, but I got on her mom's case, I should say, for not disciplining her daughter a little harder than night when she comes home to find her daughter sleeping in bed already after she done stood you up at the parent teachers conference meeting, sort of thing, right? But her mom is definitely coming down much harder on her. But this is a big moment for Carrie Kelly in a sense of revealing to her mom just sort of who she is, right? Her mom already pissed off that you're bringing a wanted man who's radioactive into my hospital for me to go ahead and help. Now I've just become an accomplice, sort of thing, right? I mean, at that point, what are you going to do? Like, you have to sort of tell your mom the truth about who you certainly are, and how she's going to handle the revelation that her daughter is Robin. I don't know if it's going to be handled. I don't know if it's going to go so well, man. Like, I'm kind of worried to see, like, is her mom going to kick her out? Is she going to end up being, I don't want to say like an orphan, but like on the run with the rest of the Gotham Knights after this point, right? Like, her mom seems like she's pretty much a stickler for laws and rules. How is she going to react to the idea of you being a vigilante also, right? Like, maybe she has a negative view of Batman and Robin, and now she sees her daughter like, who have you become? So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's the wrong perspective for, I definitely do think that's the wrong perspective for her mom to come into. It'd be great if she's certainly, arms open and stuff, but we'll definitely have to see how it winds up turning out. But I thought this was a pretty big moment for the Carrie Kelly character also. And speaking of Carrie Kelly, she does have a brief conversation in here with Turner, pretty much confirming for him what he sort of didn't want to hear, that yes, Batman in fact did go ahead and kill his parents. Now, I thought maybe Carrie would add some context to that situation, or at least I was hoping so. I do find it hard that it's just that sort of black and white. So maybe by the finale we learn a little bit more about it, instead of just the idea of like, yeah, he killed your parents. So I'm hoping it maybe gets fleshed out a little bit more, but I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that turns out. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Turner had some pretty interesting moments in general. And then yeah, the Brody learning the truth, coming across the owl mask and the videotape of them killing Cressida. But man, homeboy's just got a big mouth, man. Big mouth got him killed, unfortunately. And also, last honorable mention, and I'll go ahead and wrap up with this: the Rowe twins, Harper and Cullen in here. Listen, man, Cullen is winning me over. I've been really impressed with the actor's work. I think he's doing incredible work. if he seems like he's definitely getting more comfortable in the role, and I think even the idea of him having that leadership role for a minute has given him a little bit more of a voice. Not to say that he wasn't boisterous already, but it feels like he doesn't have a problem just being upfront and honest with you. And I love his honesty, especially when it comes to his sister Harper, and the idea of her sort of, having this new mentality of like, listen, I'm taking your advice. I'm not going to worry about straight girls anymore. I'm just focused on saving Turner's life and then our goal of leaving Gotham. And I appreciate Cullen opening up and saying like, I maybe don't want to go so much anymore. The fact that we've kind of established a family here. We've never had a family that really protects us and, we have so much fun with, sort of thing. It'd be a bummer to kind of leave them behind. So I kind of appreciate sort of like the switch up that we have here. And Cullen again kind of stepping up to the forefront. But yeah, Harper establishing that she wants to leave Gotham and focus her attention. Cullen, on the other hand, perhaps a change of heart. So I think the idea of him kind of looking them as family, and so the bond I think between the Gotham Knights continues to grow. Not everybody certainly gets along, but I really appreciate the relationships that have definitely formed on this show, to certainly say the least. So I think they continue to do great work, and a lot of these characters are definitely winning me over. But guys, look, at the end of the day, these are just simply my A+ opinions. I always want to know yours. What did you guys think about Gotham Knights episode number 10? Let your thoughts be known in the comment section box below. And I think other than that, guys, we'll certainly see you on a new episode of A+ Hero Report later this Sunday. So until then, guys, do me a big favor. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you later. Bye.